Hello, hello, everyone. This is Quinn here, coming to you live from Singapore. Yeah, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Actually, I missed that part. Now, never mind. Wherever that you're tuning in from, so glad to have you here. And today, I have got two special guests. They are both mummies, yeah, and with kids, hardworking mummies. And then they are both from Malaysia. I am from Singapore, so I will not take the spotlight away from them. So let us all listen in to what Angelica has to share. Okay, Angelica, can you please tell the audience where you are from and everything about yourself, please? Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. Again, my name is Angelica. I'm based in Kuala Lumpur, KL. So I've started. I'm a mother of two, right, and I'm still working full time, plus also doing this business. So I've started this business now. I think, oh, coming to a year, maybe 8 months now. About 8 months. Yeah. So it has been a fantastic journey, lots of learning, lots and lots of learning, lots and lots of training. But I think most importantly, I get to meet a lot of people, like-minded business people, and a
Mm.
lot of people who are willing to support, right, in this business. So it has been very encouraging and very exciting journey for me.
Wow. Yeah. This is one platform where we all actually learn a lot. You are right about that. Okay, this one I will go back to it, and then I want to draw the comparison so that your audience get to see what is the big difference between what we have and what you see outside. Okay, so next
Right.
we have Felicia. Can you please introduce
Wow,
yourself? Tell us what's
thunderstorm,
that? Wow.
thunderstorm. Yeah, hi everyone. Good afternoon. It's 5 o'clock here. It's very heavy rain outside there. I hope you can hear me clearly. I'm
Yes.
Felicia from Malaysia. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of three children. I have two young adults, and the youngest one is in college still. I'm formerly a banker for many years. I'm 30 over years in the bank, but actually it was my third place of work. My first
Mm.
initial was when I was waiting for my SPM result. So as a temporarily, I don't want to waste time. So I got into a temporarily teaching job. So, but I managed to finish it for 10 months, teaching in a kindergarten until they graduate in concert. Then I moved on to my first job with Maybank, Wave 5
Ah.
in Damansara Heights, before I go to another bank and I stay very long there.
Mm.
So that's a little bit about myself.
Wow, amazing. Felicia, I didn't know you were in the education, even though it's just for 10 months, right? It's still something wonderful to see children growing up, yeah? Yeah, wonderful. So was I. I was in the education. So, okay, a quick sharing about myself. I realized I forgot to share a little bit about myself earlier. Yeah. I'm a former air crew with Singapore Airlines, and then I became a stay-home mom. And then because my marriage didn't work well, so I was in the position where I had to pick myself up and start all over again. And then during the process, I think this one stretched for about 10 years. And then when I tried to pick myself up, a lot of things keep happening, So I call it some kind of personal attack. I don't know what you call that. Anyway, so while I was picking myself up and thinking that life is moving on, hey, finally things are going to look right. And then I had an accident. So that is how I discovered this digital business and meeting you two ladies, fantastic, friendly ladies. Yeah. Okay. So we've done with the self introduction. Yeah. So here, can we just talk a little bit more? And then I know Angelica is a full time working mom with two daughters, right? And then they are about 19. What, the eldest is 19 and
Mm,
16, right?
17. 17.
7. Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then Felicia has
Mm.
got three. One is still in college. The eldest, I think, 28, you mentioned,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
that's fantastic.
28, 26, and another one 20. I mean, for this year. They are turning
Ah,
28, 26, and 20.
oh, that's the bonus one. The last one is the bonus. Lah.
Well,
Awesome, awesome.
that was the brainstorming one.
The thing was dialing. Okay, how did that happen? But it's still a blessing, okay? Blessing children are blessings in life. And then, it helps us to be better moms and better parents as well. Some challenges, we have to overcome. Yeah? So, can you please tell me, Felicia? I know previously you were working in the bank, and then you were for a short stint of period, a time, you were also in education, right? And then how was it like transitioning into where you are now as a digital business owner?
Blow my mind. I never really dreamed that I would step into a business line.
Mm,
I I have the interest because being the youngest in the family, I have three brothers, three sisters actually. I'm the
mm,
youngest in the family, and
right.
I growing up, I see and learn from my brother sister, and there's one point of time, the years that where I see my brothers they start off business, small entrepreneur and all this. So maybe from there I have a little interest there, but I didn't really think long about that. Anyway, so I just put myself into work just right after SBM. I jumped into work. Like we so called when we are in studying, we are so look forward to be in a working life. But after
Mm,
when I'm in the working life, I sort of begin to understand that being a student is much more nice than being in the working life. So that is one part of the transition, and then later on when I was into the bank for quite, we will say, so-called going to be loyal, because most of us who work in the bank, we
mm,
know the benefits is very good,
yes.
and so it's very stable. And then at
Mm,
that time I was very young. I married at the age of 23. I become a mother at the age of 24. So
ooh,
and with that, I was actually married at the age of 23. I think in our church during the time, uh,
mm,
being in a family of the youth among us, I think I'm one of the one that broke the face, break record, that to be the young youth to get married at that age in our church. I mean, not in other place that I know. But then and after so on, those are the changes. Become a mother, and we somehow still depend on mother-in-law because I was still working, and my job was like a sole break, like a main source of support to the family. But of course, in overall, when I look back, everything is still come right back to when we collect all the pieces of our story and our journey. I come to think about it that it's actually serve a purpose why I was there before that.
yes, yes.
And then
So you call
and
it a
then
divine appointment, or maybe it's just some calling, It may not be like,
yeah,
not all of us are called to be ministers or missionaries and all that, Sometimes there is a
yeah.
purpose for us in our life, and then we just have to be discerning and know what it is that we are supposed to do in life. It's so wonderful to hear your story. Please continue. I'm so engrossed listening.
Then I remember my first time, I told you I was so excited being a school student. I so impatient. I want to start earning my own income like that. So that's very quickly I go into teaching as a kindergarten teacher. And
Yes,
my pay during those years, 1990, uh, my pay is just 3 digit. I was earning a 250, and that time was
me
very
too,
big
me
indeed.
too.
It's very big value, really. And
Yeah.
then after that, when I go into banking line, it's also just working from a 3 digit. And when I see myself the opportunity that I look at it as like what you say, it's now a divine appointment. I look at it as an open door of opportunity for me because I
Mm.
went in 1991 December in the bank, and at 1994 I straight been promoted as an officer. And to the people in the bank, they telling me the stories that were, wow, you're so fast. So you see, and I when I joined the bank, it's like everything is arranged for me. I have very good manager, man manager who supported me, and
Wow.
a Christian manager, whether
You're
they are
so
believer or
blessed. Oh my
non-believer. Yeah,
goodness, so
they
blessed.
they were wonderful. They were actually very kind to me. And as it goes, I wasn't chasing all this ranking thing. I just
Mm.
a simple mind that we thinking to meet the kind of basic needs for the family. And being young, we not much experience. We didn't know about too much about how much your income, how much percentage you need to go to savings, how much you need to go into investment, and then you prepare for your long-term journey, your next future, and all those things. I don't have all these thing in my mind, so I just
Mm.
go along with it, and that is how then I was promoted and promoted and promoted. And when you are keep going up, it's like you keep grabbing a lot of things. you know
Yes.
and I begin to feel uh, a lot of
Way down.
things all is, yeah, there's point of time I really very bogged down, very drained, and I used to cry. I used to grieve about it. I
Mm.
begin to feel unhappy, unfulfilled, but I just silently and just swallow whatever my feelings, to put it aside. And of
Mm.
course, one thing that really helped me to overcome was, every morning when I had my devotional time before I step into working in the
Yes.
office.
Yes.
So it's a very long story and cut short. And after in the year 2022, from 1991 December, I worked all the way to 2022. First April, I put in my resignation, and then we have to wait for 2 months notice. So
Ah.
at the end of May, only I officially is 1st of June, I'm out from the bank. And so that time, I also having a little bit hard time to adjust myself, how I going to adapt with, you know, the,
Mm.
I've been
Mm.
in the cycle of a
Yeah.
routine like that, you see. Work,
Yeah.
everything is work. After come back, I still work, I still clean, I
It's
still
like
do
you
this,
go
do that.
through, right?
Yeah, I'm like a machine. Sometimes I feel myself like I'm a
Yes.
machine. And there's a point of time also I got this comment from my husband that he actually called me, look like I'm very workaholic. So it actually, you know, touches me that, hey, slow down. I didn't realize that I become so workaholic also until when
Oh.
someone really, put that attention to me. So after that, year 2023 December only, I come to know about this business. And
Mm.
actually, I came out because my youngest son, he has this difficulty in academic as well. So
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I couldn't commit. I couldn't just one side because my job is very high demand
Mm.
on me, and my commitment, my attention.
Yes.
No doubt I'm earning a very good income and a lot of benefits. I don't deny that, and throughout that journey has actually shaped me. Uh, so I let go of the job, uh, in a very in a situation that I have to decide that to pick one. So
Mm.
I picked to be a full time, to homeschool him, and
Mm.
well, then he made it. And the funny thing is that when I come out, it was the biggest push for me because earlier in 2016, I already tried one to come out. I already at that point, I already very stressed and drained, but I still
Mm.
endure with it. And rightly, rightly, I follow the voice that I didn't quit my job during that time. And when
Mm.
pandemic hit, my life has suddenly, the stress level has suddenly dropped during the
Mm,
pandemic. I have never in my life experienced such a cool and calm, except
your
during COVID.
prayer is answered, I suppose. Your prayer is answered. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost like
so
sabbatical leave. Suddenly you like, okay, he knew you needed the rest and he puts the right timing to just let you
yeah,
rest. Mm.
at that point of time, then I have done some reflection and think about
Mm.
it. How is it then? Am I still going to pursue it? Actually, I got fear of whether I let go of the job. It has been carrying with me year after year. So
Mm.
um, then the biggest push for me was when my son's matter. So I think that has given me a strong courage to come up.
Yes.
And I
You are
didn't very
awesome.
well prepared for all these things, but I just go along with it. It's a step of I I would say I don't see what is in front of me, but I just I just trust and believe that there's always a way.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
In obedience, thank you for doing all that, Felicia. That is actually, I won't call it a sacrifice. Sometimes in life, we really have to make choices between what is more important than the other. Of course, family always comes first. And then, especially when we are so used to the cycle in life, like working like a robot, because it goes like like we're just like, let's put it like a hamster running on a wheel. Like, we don't know when to stop, until to a point we actually get flung out of the wheel and we suddenly wake up. Oh, it's like that. Yeah, so wow, that is one very long journey, a lot of struggle that built you and then made you to where you are today, a stronger person, right? Yeah. Thank you so much. Very, very appreciative of what you just shared. It just builds me up because you know why? I can resonate with you, especially when some of our kids are just born different and then they have got their own challenges. And then it is very important as the parent that we show up for them and be their guide because otherwise, if not us, who else can be, right? So we have to show up for our kids and guide them the right way because, God is always fair. What He gives, sometimes He takes. But also in obedience, we have to learn to follow and discern the voice and just go with the flow and do what is right. Yeah, Felicia, correct.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, okay. Fantastic, Felicia. So, Angelica, your turn. Can you just tell us a little bit more about your personal background? I know you've shared before, but why don't we do it again? For the
Mm.
benefit of new audiences who hasn't met us before, tell us a little bit more and tell us about the transition and what got you in here and what are the things you like about it. Please, thank you.
Oh, well, um, I think for me, it all started from the pandemic, during the pandemic, right? I think
Yeah,
everyone, as you all know, still a working mom of two. Um, and I think during the pandemic, where everybody was really worried about, whether they're going to have a job, not going to have a job, right? Who knew pandemic was going to last for 2 years, right? We all thought it was just going to be 3 months, and that 3 months became 4 months, 4 months became 2 years, right?
correct.
Well, it was a really long journey for everyone, right? And then you hear a lot of stories of how people getting laid off, right, over a period of
Mm.
Mm.
time,
Oh,
right, during the pandemic, right? And you're just on a daily basis, you're just waiting for your time, you just do not know when you're gonna be get called and say, hang on, we don't need you anymore, right? Um,
mm,
so I think that it started during then where, it just plays on your mind, right? It's like, oh, what happens if I don't have a job? How am I going to pay all my bills?
yeah,
Right?
the fear,
Because it's only
the
one
fear of
source income.
insecurity, right? The sense
Yeah,
of the fear is real, of feeling insecure, and that
insecure.
yeah, because
Yeah.
so many of us we are brought up in such a way that okay, you grow up, you study, you graduate, you get married, you have a kid, you build a career, and then you die happy. That is the cycle
Correct.
a lot of us are brought up to understand. But then what we fail
Yeah.
to understand is to depend on other people to give us that security. Truth be told, these people out
Yes.
there, they don't care about us. I mean, to any one of us.
Yeah.
because
Correct.
we are asked to fulfill an obligation. We sign on the dotted line, right? So that is what they expect us to do. So when the time comes, like for example, during that moment, the worldwide event 2, 3 years ago, so many people got X. So I know what you feel like because I was in
Correct.
education then. Yeah, so that fear is real, man. And then for
Yes,
me, as
correct.
in education, students were coming to school like five in a class, and then teachers were like in rotation basis. It's madness. It's pure madness.
Yes, correct.
I
Yeah, I
was
mean,
like,
I think we all know that, we shouldn't rely on one source of income, right? We all know, but I think it won't hit you until it hits you,
yeah,
right? It
oh
won't
yeah,
hit, yeah. So
yeah,
I think that just got me going and started to think, and of course at our age, as we age, you will
mm,
also feel that, yeah, okay, for some people you get laid off, yeah, you can get a job again, if you're young, right?
mm,
But if you're at the age where you're no longer employable, then it's going to be a problem, right?
yeah,
um so I think that just start going, but it was just playing in my head, of like, oh, what can I do, what else can I do, right? And of course, taking into consideration, I still need to work, right? So I still have my full-time job, but what
mm,
else can I do, so supplement
yes,
the existing job. So I think as time goes, and I do a lot of Facebook, uh, kind of a bit of an online savvy person, but not at the same time, right? Because I'm in that business of being online, but because technology is so fast that you cannot actually cope. Right? There's so many, right? I mean,
yeah.
if
It is so
one social
fast.
media itself, yeah, if Facebook is already a lot to catch up, right? And then you have TikTok, and then you have all the others, right? It's just like impossible to catch up with all this technology. So I
Mm,
like to do something with tech. That's something that I knew, right? But
mm-hmm.
what, right? What was it? That was something that I wasn't sure until to a certain time where I started seeing ads, on Facebook, right? And I thought, yeah, this is very interesting opportunity, right? And I showed my daughter as well, and I said, hey, this looks interesting. And kids that age, they are very tech savvy. They're
Correct.
also very social media, think it kind of um they understand faster and they learn very fast, right? They learn very fast. So I thought, okay, I saw the ad, I showed my daughter, and I said, hey, something that we can do, together. Um, and she was also interested. She said, okay, we can do it as well, right? So as we moved along, we learned a little bit more, and then we said, okay, so we split our tasks, right? Like she can do things really fast on Facebook, right? You ask her to do anything, post something or do a video. She's like, okay, done. I will be like, okay, one by one. I was like, oh man. But I think the fact that she was into it, I think made you even encourage you even more
Yes.
to pursue the journey, right? So there is
Mm,
somebody to actually help out, right? So there are a lot. I think at the beginning stages there were a lot of it. I asked her to do, so I make sure I create accounts where both of us can access, right? So that if I don't have time, say, can you do it? So we share, and so it bonds us, right? The business do actually bond us together into doing things together,
correct.
right? And that's how then I moved into and thought, okay, this is a good business. It's digital savvy. I don't have to, do a brick and mortar business, right, where I have to set up a shop or go and hire manpower.
That's right. So much work has to go into doing brick and mortar business because previously
Yes.
doing that, I was having I was doing some internet cafe business thingy. So the rent was crazy. Anyway, that's besides the point. It is over. Now that this digital business, the relevancy, staying in the know because the world is already moving towards all this. You
Yes.
cannot deny the fact if,
Correct.
oh, I'm not interested, not going to do it. Now, let me just, okay,
Yes.
I'm just going to speak to the audience, right? So, which one of us are not aware or maybe never ever actually go to online banking? Surely you have, right? Online banking. Now, when you want to book hotel, do you go booking.com, agoda.com, also online, right? Okay, I need to get groceries, but today I don't feel like going out. Okay, order online, deliver back home, also online. So this is the thing. It's so important to stay relevant and know how. But I must say, I'm very impressed with you, Angelica, because you make the effort to learn, you see. Because we know our youngsters these days are, wow, they are so fast. They are like, I think they are born with computers in their head or something. I don't know. They're just so good with it. So we have to stay relevant and stay.
I think if all of us have to be in it, right, in order to to
Yes.
survive, in this technology world, right? So yeah,
Mm.
and it's interesting anyway. It's interesting, as I said, I can cope
Yes.
with it, but it's just very fast. It's just
Yeah.
very fast. So sometimes you're left behind. So
Ah.
I do go. Instead of me teaching my kid, I will go to my kid and say, "How you do this? How do you do this?" Yeah, like beep, 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 beep. Okay, done. Huh? Done.
So we
Right.
always
It's
have
just so
common topic that we can talk to our children, right? Like how
yes.
it's, believe you me, my son has got TikTok account now. Can you imagine 100 over K followers, 100
Huh?
over K
What?
followers. I'm like, huh? Mommy only 5K, like 5.1K, like not enough. I have to work harder. So
Oh
much.
wow.
I mean,
Oh
give me
wow.
any time. I'm sure both of you would agree. Give me any time to be on social media is so much more fun. Like right now, we are communicating, we are going live, we are talking. Better than replying just email. So deadbeat. Ta, 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 hit send. Ta, 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 hit send. So boring. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I
This
still
is
think
the
you need a combination of both. You need a combination of both. It makes things interesting.
mm. Okay, so here we are, dear audience. Angelica has shared her side of the story, and Felicia also has shared her side of the story. I have shared mine a little bit, but today the spotlight is on both these beautiful ladies here. So I want to go to our next point, which is digital business insights, the importance of having mentorship and community support. So, Felicia, I'd like to ask you, when you step into this, right, when you decided that day, okay, I'm going to do the 149 USD and find out more about this digital business, what was the thing that went through your mind? Can you share a little more? Was there any fear?
I
Was there any sense of insecurity?
yes. While I was looking at it and is thinking, I'm doing the thinking, and I was curious about it, and I keep listening to the heart. Is this real? And is this safe?
Mm,
And my heart is so pumping, and I feel the fear. We know all the in the online space. You know, not everybody appears. The profile picture is
mm,
actually that person. So
yes.
extra careful, extra care. And then people like me who not been in the using the social media platform. So and I actually saw this opportunity when I was in the YouTube channel.
Ah,
So when,
okay.
when I saw the ad, then I start curious, and I still think start thinking that to find out further, maybe this is something I can do from
Mm,
home. Because for me, um, after my son having to go back to college, and I I was actually thinking, what can I do? Should I still go back to the bank, or should I try out teaching again, or should I do something other things that's more lighter, without require me to be so do all the thinking and long
mm,
hours. Uh, so when I process it too, of course I was curious. Of course I have this fear, but
mm,
somehow I have a very strong gut feeling that I can go for it. Then that's why how I paid the 149, and I
mm,
was I was estimating 149 times the conversion rate. How much would I be paying? Okay, if this is not real, how much would I lost? Then am I able to take that small risk? I did thought about that actually. Think a little bit
ah,
further of that. So uh, if at all it is not real, so I'm so called of prepared, but I actually curious. And when I saw the ad, I sort of have a feeling that way I can trust this person.
Mm.
So that's why I go ahead, and then with the thing that they show there, that there is a 30 days money back guarantee. So that
Yeah.
even give me a little bit confident. At least there is a 60-70% of confidence to go in. That's why I pay the 149. And immediately after I pay the 149, in a very short while, my mentor straight a video call me.
Wow.
So it actually even more giving me that to know that, oh, this is legitimate, this is real.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's how I go in.
Yeah, so that audience that you can tell, right? Angelica, myself, and Felicia here, we are real people, not artificial intelligence. We are not deepfakes. We are real people. Mummies with kids and doing business for me full time, and for the two ladies, well, they're hardworking ladies, lah, huh? So there is there is there is the trust, there's the integrity with this digital business, because you can really connect with us, and then if you have any question, you can always reach out to us, because in order to make right decision in life, especially when you are going into this venture of digital business, it's so important to be informed. Never ever get into some business, so-called open close inverted commas. It tells you within 1 week you're going to recoup back what you put in, because then I can tell you, please make 180 degrees turn around, run the opposite direction, because real business require effort, require time, require your focus. And but one consolation, one good thing about this digital business that I'd like to share with you, dear audience, is that this digital business, it takes a shorter period than anything that you would ever do outside to grow and to have a stability that you're looking for. Now, there is something that I like to share with you. Someone ever said, they are not afraid giving up 30 years of their life building someone else's dream day in, day out, waking up to alarm clock and thinking that is called security and stability. They are not willing to do 2 to 3 years working hard for their own business, that after that, truly you can break free and live life as you have always dreamt of living. So I'm not saying that it is a solid promise that everybody is going to have it the way they want it. It really depends on how much effort we're willing to put in. But then in this digital business, the best part is there is the community support, and there's also the mentorship. Okay, Angelica, maybe you can share a little bit more, tell our audience, because you are most familiar with this, right? Yeah, please. Angelica, I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Ah, okay. I was talking to myself. Can you hear me now? Okay. Yes. So in terms of mentorship, having a mentorship, I think it's so very important, right? I think in anything new that we joined, or we embark, right? I think it's important to have at least somebody or a community to help you to move or to grow in your business, right? We all cannot um, grow our business alone, right?
Mm,
Um,
mm,
and and as I said, with technology being moving in such a fast pace, right?
correct.
We need help, right? We definitely need help and learn, and it's important to learn from everybody, right? From the community
Correct.
itself, because
Mm,
you don't know. I think people will learn through mistakes, and you don't want to go through those mistakes, right? And I think you will then move your business a little bit faster if you learn from the mistakes that other people
correct.
has gone through, right?
Yes.
Um, and it's always evolving. Technology is always evolving, right? So we learn from one another, and the support is, wow, I have to say it's amazing. I think without the community, I probably still wouldn't be here, right?
Correct.
But I think it's great, and the amount of training that is being provided, right?
Mm,
Never would have imagined, it's a constant learning. I think that's
correct.
so important, right? It's a constant, every day I learn. I seriously, every day, as something to learn. I cannot finish learning. It's like, I wish I had more than 24 hours a day.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
And
Without
it's interesting.
With our digital business, right, there is the thorough guidance in terms of the trainings that's given to us. It's almost the latest because I know just 2 days ago, was it 3 days ago? Our learning platform has been upgraded further, and then you are seeing more things inside of it. And the best part is when we are taking courses like these, for example, I'm sure we see it a lot on social media platforms saying that learn e-marketing and then be graduating from the course within 6 months, and then yada yada yada, a lot of things. But then the question is whether we actually get support after the 6 months, right? So
Yes.
our digital
Correct.
business is awesome in such a way that we are able to get support even after that. In fact, it's almost like a lifetime for as long as we are in this digital business. So we are no longer like strangers. We become friends. Our past friends become close friends, and then we are always monitoring and supporting each other, right or not?
Yep.
Both of you,
Yep.
right?
Correct.
So it's like
Correct.
we are able to see some of our business partners the pages like oh, okay, something doesn't look right, because we know social media these days are pretty scary place sometimes. But through this
Yes.
training that we are learning, we learn to be very sharp. Our response are faster. We know what is real, what is not. And then we are always alerting our friends like, hey, this one sounds fishy, you be careful. So it's almost like a sound out telling each other like, hey, this is good, this what is not good, and we learn from each other. So this is awesome. I like this
Yep.
training. It's like it is also self-directed learning. It's an
Yep.
interactive video, self-paced,
Correct.
where it's not like, when you go outside, you take the course, and they tell you Monday and Tuesday, you come for course, 3 hours. So you miss a lesson, you have to re-register, pay another $15 for the course. This course,
Correct.
no, it's lifetime.
No. And
So as long
yes,
as you're in
and
it,
it's
mm,
also something that you can apply on, right, on a daily basis. It's not like going to school or
yeah,
classes where you learn and it's theoretical, right? And then
yeah,
it's just theory, right? And you don't apply. This one is like you learn and you apply, right? And it makes sense, right? And
correct,
then it was
correct.
so it's a good
Mm.
it's really a good platform.
So in
Really
this
good.
digital platform, we can also see those people who went before us, who open up the pathway and show us that, hey, this is the way to go. And then that path, no go. This path works. So we are learning from all these people, and we are replicating the success story of all these leaders before us. So I'm
Yeah.
totally grateful and thankful to these people who's giving
And
us
if
the
you
support.
correct. And if you think back, right, when we were all joining this business, it does actually say that you don't need to be tech savvy, right, to
Mm,
join this business. Correct? It does say you don't. And when you were at that point in time, I think all of us we were also very scared. It's like, oh, do I need to be tech savvy? And what if I'm not tech savvy? Then I will
mm,
not be able to do this business. But after now that if you look back, and all the trainings and support that you get from it, right? You literally don't need to be tech savvy because you will need to learn, right? It's
yeah,
just like for it, like for me, right? Yeah, I know Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. I just scroll, read news, but
mm,
how do you do right the
yes,
the ads and all that, right? It's something that you need to learn, right? And I know the basics of it, but I don't apply. But now I
mm,
apply, I learn and I apply to it, right? And if there are changes to it, as I said, in terms of technology, it's always consistently changing, right? Then you
yes,
reapply, right?
yeah,
So you learn and apply and reapply. So
yeah.
that's it. It's good.
There is a
Yeah.
motivation for all of this because all three of us here, we are all independent business owners. We run our own digital business on our own platforms. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it is good in that way. Like, even though the training says that you don't have to be tech savvy, but who would be in their right frame of mind, get involved in a business and not do anything about it? You will want to see it blossom and grow into something big. Who likes the feeling of inadequacy? Who likes the feeling of not having enough? None of us want that. We want what is best for our family. We want something that gives us security and stability in years to come. We want something we can leave a legacy behind. So this digital business is totally awesome because it supports even moms who are working at home, and a full-time mom who gave up the career to be a stay-home mom. So if you have the courage to step out of your comfort zone, dear audience, if you happen to be in that category, I want you to know this is one digital business. You can be assured that you are in a safe space, you are with the right people, and that you will have the support, that you don't have to struggle alone. All right, because many of us start off the same, having that fear. Oh, is this scam? No, it's not. We are real people, and then we are all faith believers. We are faith driven entrepreneurs. Okay, we love God, we love people, we love you too. Okay, so we are going to move on to the last topic, which is words of advice. I will start first. I will say this very simply, and all of you would know, is life you live once. If you love life, you live life. You don't like, you change it. Do something about it. Don't sit down there and whine and complain. What is whining, complaining going to do for you? Nothing. Don't do something now. 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 8 years down the road, nothing is going to change. But the moment it hits you hard, no, I don't want this anymore. I don't like the way things are. I want to make a change. Do something. So I am Lily or Lee Kwan from Singapore. You can reach out to me and I will be your digital business mentor. I'm more than happy to guide you. And then for Angelica and Felicia, what would your word of advice, starting with Felicia, for your audience over in Malaysia?
I would very much say that if you have seen us and you've been scrolling through our page, you will be able to see that we are posting daily, and it shows that we are trying to uh, show up to you to tell you, because we to build the trust in the online space. I know it's not easy. uh, we all always have this set up in our mind that trust no one, but at least you trust the voice that in your heart, that if there is something that where you are searching for a solution, uh, to make a change in your life and to have a better future, building a better future for yourself and your family. Uh, like myself, I before I know this, I also don't know anything that this thing exists. So, and I've been working for 30 years in the long run. Of course, I would say uh, with all this, even though we have fear, but you have to learn to be able to overcome the fear. And so when
Mm,
we overcome the fear, there's only a leap of faith. The faith and the fear, it shouldn't be, it must be only one exist, because like in our faith we say that we trust and we believe, because even though we don't see,
mm,
we just trust that we maybe we have questioned that how is it going to work, but we don't have to worry about that. We just have to take that first step to register ourselves, to take a look and see it through, try to understand this business model. And if you think that this is something, well, I can I can also do, then
mm,
you move on the next step, which like many of us did. Then only we pay the 149 and we move forward to go and become officially the business owner.
mm.
So we take ownership of our own business. So
Correct.
yeah, so you have to overcome that fear and check it out. And at all, after you watch the webinar and then you think that you know you don't like what you see, then you can always just ask for the refund.
Correct.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Felicia. That is so wonderful. Yeah. Faith over fear. When faith comes in, fear has no place. It has to move out. And my favorite verse in the Bible always say, we can always command the mountain, move out of my way. So mountain in this term, sometimes people don't understand. They thought mountain, physical mountain, how to move the mountain? Cannot move the mountain, ma. No, the word of God says mountain is like problems in our life. So when we have faith, we command it, no, you're not going to block my way, move out of my way. And then because that's where I'm heading. If he is for you, who else can be against you, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, Angelica, your final say on words of advice for our dear audience.
Well, for me, I would say that, I get a lot of people knocking on the doors, and the first thing they always say to me is that they're always scared of being scammed, right? But I think it's important to know this, right? Um, yes, I think all of us are worried of being scammed, but I think we need to do our due diligence. But
Mm.
don't let it stop you, right?
Oh yeah.
Because technology will move, right? Will continue to move. But you need to do your due diligence in anything that you do, right? But for example, even if you need to buy a apartment, right? Won't you do your due diligence to find out whether it's a good apartment, right? You do your research, basically,
Yeah.
right? You do your research. Same thing here, right? You do your research, by all means, um, send us a message, right?
Mm.
Ask us questions, right? And as Felicia said as well, join at 149, right? It's refundable, right? If you don't like it within 30 days, you can get back your money, but don't let scammers stop you from growing, right, into this technology, like into this technology, right. um and see for yourself, right. So move with times, basically, really
Yes.
move with times, right. And I understand we all are very scared, but I think um not until you overcome that fear, then you will be able to grow, basically.
Yes. I just have this idea suddenly pop into my mind, because seriously, that fear is considered unfounded because if it comes from a place that we don't know anything about it and we don't want to do anything about it, then of course you will stay ignorant about what is happening lah. But I feel the best way to counter this kind of fear of scam is to learn about it. What is it that is I'm so scared about this scammer? Learn about how to overcome it. I tell you, this digital platform is the best place. It teaches us how to handle all these kind of people. Not scared, not scared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The live stream has gone for 46 minutes, almost 47 minutes. Oh, thank you so much. I've been yet for so long. But anyway, dear audience, today I will just end the chat. I mean end the live here because we are going a bit too long. Anyway, we are doing this go live for the next every Friday of the month of April. So every day, I mean not every day, every Friday we will be talking about different topic. So I really hope that you will join us on every Friday of the April, this month, April, right? The next one will be coming up is next week lah. We will be talking some more about the digital business. Okay. So with this, I shall just end the live stream, sending you a lot of blessing. God bless you and yours.